All right, my friends, we are back with Dwarf Fortress Explained Poorly. As promised, I have made a custom map where the enemy, or even our friends, anyone comes and sieges us constantly. As soon as the new siege is ready, they come again and they try to kill us. They always ask for a parlay, a parlay to avoid loss of life, as you see there. We always reject it because the point of this map is to test siege and combat. So I turn off Fast Dwarf. You can see I've built defenses here. I built a big wall, cage traps. I did have some oversights. They ended up climbing over this wall pretty easily. You'll see it slows them down. You see they brought one battering ram. Seems they brought no other destruction trolls or construction trolls. But what makes this interesting is that they are actually all humans. Or there's a few goblins in there. It's a goblin human team. It seems to be like the leadership is goblins and then the average foot soldier are humans. And another interesting thing is that they said that these are mounted human horsemen. They specifically say mounted, but you will see as this gets started that the humans seem to just be kind of carrying the horses with them. They're walking at normal speed alongside the horses, as far as I can tell. So I'm not sure what the deal is. Maybe they get some kind of speed boost. Maybe that's not programmed in completely yet, but you'll see that. So what we're doing here is we're setting our bolt throwers. I think I stutter every single time I say bolt thrower. You can see there's 50 invaders now. There will end up being 100 invaders, which is pretty scary because we only have 150 dwarves. We do end up cleaning them up. It's not a problem. You can see they have dogs of war. You can see the horses, it's supposed to be mounted horsemen, but it's humans standing next to the pack mule icon, and they don't seem to move too much faster. So I'm not sure about that, but you see goblins, humans, dogs of war all pouring in, and they end up having about 100. That's me turning Fast Dwarf off to make it a fair fight, at least as much as possible, just not cheating while we go into combat. I end up cage trapping quite a few humans. So now I have kind of an ethical question because I don't know. It seems like caging and pitting a goblin is a little more acceptable. You can see I'm sending my dwarves right now to patrol the one area that I expect the siege to pour out of. They end up climbing over the wall to the south directly, so that doesn't go as planned. But we end up capturing like 20 humans. I don't know what I'm going to do with them. Probably pit trap them or something messed up because they are siegers. There's no reason logically for me to treat goblins worse than humans, especially when the behavior is the same. But so here we go. I'm sending out my first dwarves. They are not sped up and they are making their way down. What else? So I've never been sieged by humans. But as I said, this fortress is actually very well loved by the community. We have outposts and all kinds of stuff, but I have set in my settings, I insist that you siege me. So last time we got goblins with like siege trolls to break things down and kill them. And we killed them with the bolt throwers. This time we were ready with cage traps, so a lot of them are getting hit by cage traps as much as possible. In the new siege update, apparently siegers can release each other from cage traps, but these guys didn't seem to be doing it much at all. We end up withdrawing at one point because I wasn't sure it was really going to go my way. I was honestly getting a little intimidated, and I realized my bolt throwers have a range that covers the middle of the map, but while they're up in that top north, it's like they're kind of kiting, juking us if we engage them up there because we don't have bolt thrower support. So we end up about halfway through, we retreat just to let them get farther, and then we hit them with the bolt throwers and finish them off. And we only lost like 40 people this time. They have 100 invaders. We lost like 40. It's honestly going to be a problem to maintain the ghosts. I'm now mass producing slabs, gravestones, which is easier with the attack. You can see combat there. My dwarves are engaging, attacking the humans, attacking the war dogs. Oh, this is also me. I'm refilling my squads because so many people have died already. I had say for example, looks like about 40 specific combat dwarves, and they all died in this. And so I ended up just grabbing, and I actually kind of do it inefficiently. I double assign and then have to correct my work for a second, which is what you're seeing here. But yeah, so we end up losing a lot of our best warriors. So they are going to grind us down. If I keep these siege settings the way they are, they will grind us down and we will be defeated, and I'll show that. But so far we've bounced 2 sieges, and each time we lose about half of what they lose, what they spend. But the problem is the game is just making these people up, whereas I actually have to raise these dwarves, so they will eventually destroy us. I'm making slabs like crazy is what I was saying, tombstones, and I'm making mass-produced casket graves because we do have a lot of body parts. I'm sure everybody's familiar with burying, but if you even have a tooth of a dead dwarf, then it's probably faster to put that in a wooden casket and put it in a little room in, a big mausoleum of tombs. But if you completely lose the corpse, it rots away, it gets lost, it goes in the bottom of a river or something, then you have to make a slab. I'm doing both of those to keep the ghosts down. That's probably what's going to get me at the end, is my skilled warriors getting killed. You see it's just total melee, and by the end of this, the map is just slick with bile and blood, because it does get pretty brutal. You can see I have 174 total citizens. So they brought 100, and then we lost like 40. Like, it's not too bad, but if they keep coming every season like I've specifically asked them to do, this will never happen unless you make your siege settings custom for the purposes of YouTube comedy. But every season now, more or less, like maybe twice a year, at least once a year, we're getting an increasingly big siege. The next one might crush us, but that'll be a fun video. Oh, a big problem is you see those tombstones? I was mass producing honoraries for the dead after that last siege, and I stupidly put them on the surface, and I forgot that the siegers will topple anything they have access to. So they've also raised the dead. That's a good siege tactic, honestly. Like, if there's an unprotected cemetery in the dwarf's fortress and you knock over, destroy all of the tombs or the memorial sites, then you will pump ghosts from the last siege. It's like with scurvy. They said, it would make your old wounds heal. I mean, the opposite, it'd make your own wounds, like, reopen. It's kind of like that. They reopen the wounds by destroying a cemetery. What am I talking? All right, so I think I pulled back at this point. You see more of them getting hit in cage traps. Or actually, those are set... Ooh, interesting. I just realized those are set to forbid, and I think that's because people were caught in them. But it could technically be saboteurs from the siegers toppling it. That's what they call it when they find a construction and they break it. I don't think I checked. I know for a fact that I caught like 20 humans and a few goblins. So a lot of the cage traps worked, but it's possible that they broke a few. And now you see everybody's fighting around the either full or disabled cage traps, and this bridge is just like slick with blood and vomit and everything. So we're bringing our warriors back in, and the bolt throwers are actually now hammering down at them. I will say the bolt throwers are kind of one solution fits all. Oh, that's one thing I want to say. So I tested, and I found that specifically, if you send every single dwarf to a burrow, which is a good strategy for sieges, you send them to a burrow, it's like they retreat to a safe area. If you do that, but then you also leave your bolt throwers to fire on enemies, it will do actually a really helpful thing for a change, in this game. And all the dwarves will go back to the burrows, except whoever's closest will man those bolt throwers. So it was perfect. Everybody retreated except the people in protected siege weapon locations, and they fired down and really thinned out this sieging army. And that's what really turned the tide. Then I brought my dwarves out and we cleaned them up. You see everything is just so bloody now. Oh, the other thing, you'll see a few alerts, depending on how cropped this footage ends up being, that says I have no usable hospital, and that is because the chief medical dwarf gets rocked. I think, honestly, I sent my first 4 squads out, and that was, like, also the first 40 dwarves in this location, so I basically got all my nobles killed. But we set that back up. You just need a chief medical dwarf and then assign, specialized doctors at the actual hospital. I tend not to even rely on that because DF hack makes it easy to heal things. That's how I usually reward my dwarfs after, I turn off the cheats to make the battle interesting. I'm tracking to make sure that my dwarves are actually going back to the burrow now, that this is the retreat, basically. Oh no, he's actually ordered to kill Various, so he's on his way up. I guess this is the point where I take them out of the burrow and bring them back up. So he's laden, he's moving slow because he's heavy with armor and weapons and stuff. This has also been just an incredible map for making steel. Like, there's been just infinite flux stone as well as iron ore. So everybody's got steel swords. We have steel bolts. It's really nice. We check back up at the surface. You can see there's sick all over that little bridge that a construction troll built last time. So that does help. They did mathematically ford the river. And I could have broken it back down, but I like that. I want the siegers to have some effect on my overworld. So I'm checking. Everybody's dead. Everybody's dying. We're down to 40 invaders, so we've killed 60 of theirs, and I think we've probably lost about 30 of ours at this point. But this is where, like I said, we turn the tables, and it's mostly our guys because the bolt throwers are shooting down at them. and we have it's like 40 versus 40 now, and my guys train in fast forward because of DF hack fast dwarf. There you see streams of bolts coming down, just obliterating, just machine gun fire from multiple directions, and that's where it starts. Now we're down to 30 invaders, 10 just died. Now we're down to 29. Now they're really dying in real time because those bolt throwers are like machine guns. And everything is bloody now. As you can see, I'm making sure that I've targeted everybody. Now they're actually fleeing. You see the wounded are now moving back towards they entered. Oh, that's one thing I wanted to also address, let you know. So twice in a row now, the siege has emerged from the exact same spot on the map. And I wasn't sure if I remembered that being true previously. I thought it was, and it does seem still to be. Your sieges, at least so far, will pretty consistently come from one direction. So you can fortify it like I did, build walls, build cage traps right there. But God, look at all the death and destruction. After this, I played like 15 minutes just cleaning it up in Fast Dwarf, just cleaning, getting bodies piled, getting their tombs up, doing DF hacks. You see, yeah, all their wounded, everyone who's still alive, 6 invaders left. The wounded are fleeing back the way they came and very badly hurt. And then once again, just like the last siege, actually, we had exactly 4 invaders left that were manning a siege weapon that never advanced. So I don't know if those are bugged or what, but I've now twice had like 4 guys show up on a siege on like a doorbuster, you know, like a big piece of wood that they swing to break construction, but they never make any progress and they stay where they started and they kind of wander around. And then after I've killed everybody, they're the last ones and they just stay there. They also don't flee. They just man that siege weapon and then we mop them up. That's going to be the end of this video, actually. I'll know that I'm running out of time when we are on that siege weapon and the fools are not fleeing northward, even though they could. So yeah, I would say feedback-wise, they need to maybe fix that, because I've seen they always bring up a battering ram is what I'm thinking of. And there we have it. So we're mopping them up. Those are literally the last 4, and it's because for some reason the battering ram breaks their ability to either flee or advance in a meaningful way. They stay there the whole time, and they kind of rotate like that. All right, I think that's all I have. We're wrapping this up. Don't forget, like, subscribe, comment. It all really helps the channel. We are working on getting monetized, and we're almost there. I'm going to start doing movie reviews. See, we're knocking, teeth are flying out. We're killing the last few, and that should be it. I'm going to check, make sure how much. Yep, okay, we're running out of time. Anything, leave me a comment. I'll definitely write you back. It all really helps the channel. Love you guys. Love you guys. Watching the last one die. And yeah, I'll be back probably next week with another siege, and maybe they'll get me this time, but I doubt it. I think we're pretty good.